Hello ladies and gents, welcome to Reaction. This is Iran Attack Tactics on US Military Explained by channel AI Telly. I watched few videos from this channel about Maduro and Venezuela. It's a really good channel. It shows things with a graph and like animation, which is very interesting take. Sonic weapon video was really good from this channel. I like how it showed where it was, what it could be. So this is a weird thing for me. I hope this is as good as I'm hoping it is, because Iran attacking US is so weird to me. But at the same time, I understand how geography works. I understand how there are certain level of strength you can't really put on paper. So maybe Iran has something that is threatening to US. Maybe this video might tell us, because it's very close. Trump having friction with Iran is like real strong right now. It's very close. Armada is there, as he says it. Who knows? There might be an imminent attack from USA to Iran. Can Iran do something about it? It's going to be an interesting video. Let's watch one.
How does a smaller regional power take on the world's largest navy with its massive aircraft carriers and advanced destroyers? Well, Iran's strategy isn't to face the US head-on. It is to rely on asymmetric warfare. Take this for example. These two civilian ships are sailing near an aircraft carrier. Everything looks completely normal. But then, with the press of a button, a shipping container doors opens up and out comes a missile.
Isn't this Chinese thing? China was doing that recently, where they were like making this civilian ships with a container on it, making it into... Did China give them this?
But a self-made Iranian anti-ship missiles, which can still pack a punch. This is instantly followed by a swarm of low-flying drones and fast attack boats from within the cargo ships, and not to forget the small Midget submarines. These submarines can launch torpedoes at the same time. In quick succession, it can pass through the carrier's strike group defense system and even achieve 10% impact. They might not sink the carrier, but they can damage it enough to make the waters too dangerous for the US to operate in.
So well, I'll see why it got damaged, because the ship is made by AI Telly and not America. All right. Easy solution. Give out on radio, tell everyone, do not come close to the Armada or we'll treat you as an enemy and sink you before you come close. Problem solved.
Look at the 4 key tactics they would likely use. Tactic 1. First and perhaps most famous is the swarm. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy operates hundreds of small, fast attack craft armed with heavy machine guns, rockets, and anti-ship missiles. The tactic here is simple, but deadly. Instead of trying to fight a US destroyer one-on-one, which they would lose, they deploy dozens of small boats simultaneously from every direction. The goal is to overwhelm the US ship's defensive systems, like the phalanx, by presenting more targets than the ship can track and destroy at once. Moving to tactic 2, mining the...
Hold up, is that gonna matter? Are those explosive on those ships? Because apart from that, what the fuck on the small boats can do? Even if they get close, wouldn't the destroyer and soldiers on it just shoot it down when it gets too close? I don't know. Just machine gun fire, like how they do it against Somalia pirates. I don't know. Maybe this might be like kamikaze level shit, like how Japan was doing with the plane. They might do it with the ship. That's a risk, right?
Straight. Next, we have the silent killer, mining the Strait of Hormuz. This is the world's most critical oil choke point. Iran maintains an inventory of thousands of naval mines, including smart mines that can listen for the specific acoustic signatures of enemy ships. In a conflict, Iran could use submarines, small boats, or even disguised civilian vessels to...
Where are they getting technology from that? Like, Iran has a research department. I don't know. They are starving. Only thing they always invested is in missiles. I don't know, like, where is this coming from? Where is the technology coming from? Is China giving them that? What is happening?
Drop mines right into the shipping lanes. The goal here isn't just military, it's economic. This would deny the US Navy safe passage and immediately spike global oil prices, inflicting massive economic pain on the US and its allies.
What happened to that American ship that, destroys mines? They specifically created that. Why not use that if that's the case?
Here comes Tactic 3, the kill zone. Third is the geographic advantage, coastal missile batteries. The Iranian coastline is mountainous and rugged, perfect cover for mobile missile launchers. The regime also employs shoot-and-scoot tactics using truck-mounted cruise and ballistic missiles. They fire a missile and immediately move to a new hiding spot before the U.S. can strike back.
That's how it
This
works.
effectively turns the Gulf into a kill zone, where
That's how modern things work, right? Everything from Patriot to S-400s, like they are all mobile for this reason.
U.S. ships are under constant threat of fire from land with nowhere to hide. Tactic 4.
Again, I don't know, like what about F-35s? Can't just F-35 go in, detect like they did in Venezuela, detect where these things are and destroy it before they realize where the F-35 is? Because they can't really detect F-35. This is why F-35 is a thing. I don't know.
We have the ambush threat, Midget submarines. The Persian Gulf is actually quite shallow, which makes it difficult for massive U.S. nuclear submarines to operate. However, it is perfect for Iran's fleet of diesel-electric mini-subs, like the Ghadar class. These small subs can sit silently on the seafloor, waiting for a target to pass overhead before firing torpedoes.
Hold up there. American submarines can't go there, while Iranian can. Very specific geographical advantage. What the fuck?
It's a surprise ambush tactic designed to damage high-value assets, like carriers or destroyers, while remaining almost impossible to detect by sonar. These small but stealthy diesel-electric submarines designed for operations in the shallow waters of the Persian Gulf pose a significant threat to U.S. aircraft carriers. The Ghadar-class submarines, which are difficult to detect due to their small size and low acoustic signature, could position themselves in strategic locations near key naval choke points, such as the Strait of Hormuz. Equipped with heavyweight torpedoes and capable of deploying naval mines, these submarines could launch surprise attacks on U.S. aircraft carriers.
Yeah, but why would aircraft carrier want to cross there? The range is enough. They can just stay far away from there, right? And as far as going close, Qatar is there. Can't they use Qatar as a base to like attack? There's a reason why even British planes were gathering in Qatar. Why would they want to cross that area?
Waiting in ambush near expected carrier movements, Ghadar-class submarines could fire a coordinated torpedo strike, targeting the hull and propulsion systems of U.S. carriers. A successful torpedo strike on an aircraft carrier could disable its flight deck operations, significantly reducing the U.S. Navy's ability to project air.
That's the thing, right? It can't sink it. The day I realized that, I realized how insane aircraft carrier is. It's segmented. Just attacking it once or twice is not going to sink a fucking aircraft carrier, whether from above or below. You need American weapon that they created to sink a big ship, which only America has apparently.
Air power in the region. Additionally, these submarines could lay underwater mines in critical sea lanes, forcing U.S. warships into predetermined ambush zones where Iranian missile and drone attacks could follow up. Tactic 5. We can't ignore the aerial threat. This is drone warfare. Iran has invested heavily in becoming a drone superpower in the Middle East. In a conflict, they would use UAVs
Everywhere.
not just for surveillance.
It's not just Middle East. If you think about small drone warfare, you think of Iran. Even Russia takes it from Iran, right? Like, Iran is a small drone country.
But as loitering munitions, essentially suicide drones. The tactic is to launch them in massive waves to crash into the sensitive radar dishes and flight decks of U.S. ships. The goal is to blind the fleet's sensors and halt flight operations, leaving the ships vulnerable to missile attacks.
This might be too fucked up, man. If this actually works and US gets so damaged that they have to retreat, do you have any fucking idea the level of embarrassment it will come from this? And the level of flex Iran will do in front of the world and in front of its own civilians. We kicked America's ass. What? What are you going to do now? What? This is insane. Whether the full picture is that or not, whether the details are grainy, if they repel America, they'll just tout that, right? And the fucked up thing about this is America is at the verge of the technology to fight against drones. That shotgun-style weaponry that they are developing is not really implemented in ships. The lasers, Helios, which is in some ships, not all of them, and this is when America really needs it. Another time where like, okay, you might need the technology which is not available, and not available, it's not mass distributed, and you need it now. Because if this shit actually happens, while America already had a weapon that they could have used, but they didn't implement it in these ships, do you know how fucked up that would be?
Let's look at Tactic 6. The U.S. fleet relies on ports in Bahrain and air cover from bases in Qatar to sustain the fight. Iran possesses the largest ballistic missile arsenal in the Middle East. Their strategy includes massive missile barrages targeting these static headquarters and logistical hubs. The goal isn't just to destroy buildings, but to deny the U.S. Navy the fuel, ammo, and command support it needs to stay in the fight.
Well, there are Patriots there, right? Patriot systems, Aegis system with ships. The armada that is there, it probably is equipped with Aegis. So if you have Patriot and Aegis there, I don't think you would have problem. Because I'm pretty sure America helped Israel against an attack, and Israel way far off from the coast. So if they can do that from all the way out there, they can protect Qatar, I think.
If the ships have nowhere to dock,
Israel is all the way there. If your ships from here, Aegis system from here can help them all the way there, clearly it has range to protect Qatar. I don't know.
they can't stay in the Gulf. Iran's military strategy for targeting U.S. air bases in the Middle East would likely rely on a coordinated, multi-domain approach. By combining its missile arsenal, drone capabilities, and proxy forces, Iran aims to overwhelm American defenses and inflict significant damage. Among the high-value targets, Iran would likely prioritize are Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, naval support activity NS at Bahrain, multiple U.S. military bases in Iraq, and Al Dhafra Air Base in the United Arab Emirates. This approach...
Hold up there. You just said that there are 4 or 5 different locations Iran has to attack in order to stop USA. That statement alone tells you how much of an uphill battle Iran has. Not to mention the superiority in technology US has. Not to mention UK also like sending planes and shit. So it's not US alone probably. US can just say, bring your ass over here. But they can just say that to NATO, right? And that is how it's been working for a long time. This is an uphill battle for Iran. And even the worst thing is, everything AI Tel is saying here, US already knew that decades ago. Before they even start thinking about war, they start to iron out all these things. Like how to approach these things so Iran doesn't do this. So none of these things are going to be really a problem because they'll walk around it.
reflects Tehran's broader strategic objectives, deterring U.S. military intervention, retaliating decisively in the event of conflict, and asserting its influence across the region. One of the most probable targets in a direct confrontation is Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. As the largest U.S. military installation in the Middle East, it hosts around 8,000 American troops and serves as the regional headquarters for U.S. Central
Might
Command.
as well be a small town. Look at that shit. Somebody, let some YouTuber go there if they can get permission. I'm sure that they'll give permission. America does that all the time. And shoot there like how things work. Right? It's awesome.
And the base plays a crucial role in supporting air operations across the region and is a central pillar of the U.S. military presence in the Gulf. To strike Al Udeid and similar bases, Iran could deploy ballistic missiles such as the Fateh-110, which has a range of about 300 kilometers, or the QN-1, capable of reaching up to 800 kilometers. If it uses a proximity fuse, it may detonate just above the surface, airburst, to maximize fragmentation and increase the affected area. Complete destruction of unarmored structures and lethal to unprotected personnel. Extreme overpressure, possibly 100 to 300...
Why would they be unprotected though? I get it, like you could possibly overwhelm by many missiles. Like, okay, first 10 will be defended, but what about after that, 15, 20? But if you use that many missiles here, then you have to use that many missiles everywhere. Do you have missiles left after that? This is a logistical question. How many missiles do they have, and how much can they really use?
100 psi in this zone will destroy hardened aircraft shelters, fuel tanks, and command posts if directly hit. Depending on where these missiles are launched from, they pose a credible threat to key U.S. installations across the Gulf. In Bahrain, the Naval Support Activity NS at Base serves as the headquarters of the U.S. Naval Forces Central Command and the U.S. Fifth Fleet. With more than 9,000 American personnel stationed there, it is the only permanent U.S. naval shore base in the Middle
All of them, 8,000, now 9,000 here, that's 17,000, few there. America basically a small army there if they wanted to invade something. 8,000 here, 9,000 there, a bit of that in like UAE, a bit of that in Iraq, totaling something like 20, 30,000, enough to invade something. That's insane.
East. Its port facilities are capable of accommodating aircraft carriers and amphibious ships, making it a vital maritime hub. Given NSA Bahrain's role, Iran may also target U.S. warships in port or operating in nearby waters. It possesses a highly developed arsenal of anti-ship cruise missiles, launched from coastal batteries or naval platforms, which can threaten U.S. naval superiority in the Persian Gulf. Iran may also exploit proxy forces in Yemen and pro-Iranian
Basically, Iran is not Venezuela. There is more to it. That's what just summarizing this video.
militias in Iraq to launch indirect attacks or stir instability within Bahrain itself. In Kuwait, the U.S. maintains a strong presence at Camp Arifshan and Ali Al Salem Air Base, which together host around 13,500 troops as of 2021. These facilities act as key operational and logistical hubs, particularly for U.S. missions in Iraq and the broader Gulf region. They also use the Soviet-era anti-ship missiles with solid booster and liquid fuel attached to it, produced during the Cold War as employed for the attacking mission. When launched, the first stage booster fires off for 2 to 3 seconds, after which the second stage takes off. It searches for a target using analog radar. When locked and ready, it can destroy a ship using a hollow-shaped charged warhead. This has the potential to either destroy or sink a cargo ship if it hits at the right angle. Scenario 2. This involves the use of a Soviet-era missile that was re-engineered by the Iranians, converting it into an anti-ship missile.
Again, I'm not so sure about all this shit. Iran launched a massive barrage of missiles over Israel 2-3 years ago. US and Israel joined together to shoot down 99.9% of all missiles. So why would these missiles hit American ships and shit, right? Like they have Aegis, they have Patriot. It's so accurate they would basically shoot it down. I don't know.
The converted SA-2 missile can be launched from within 45 kilometers or 28 miles from the target.
That's the problem, isn't it? Like the short distance, because a system needs time. So what is the range for Patriot, and like, how to say this? Like, what is the quickness of Patriot? How close enough can Patriot defend? And how close is too close, where Patriot can defend, or Aegis can defend? A missile can launch and drop before the system can do anything about it. How close is too close?
Take, for example, the U.S. destroyers sailing through the Red Sea.
Again, why not fit all Arleigh Burke destroyers with that Helios laser? Why only one? Right? I'm pretty sure only one has the Helios right now. Why not fit all of them? I mean, logistics is one thing where US can flex. Money is one thing US can flex. This is a thing you can prioritize. I don't get it.
When fired, these anti-ship missiles can travel at a speed of Mach 3.5. These actions create a psychological impact and disrupt trade routes. Speaking of Iraq, several U.S. military bases are located relatively close to Iran's western border. Their proximity places them well within range of Iranian missile strikes, adding to the strategic and tactical complexity of the region's security landscape.
But that's also vice versa. They can use those bases to attack Iran, right?
Iran's missile forces are dispersed across hardened underground bases and mobile launchers, which enhance their survivability and make rapid, surprise strikes.
You are kidding me, right? They have underground shit like this where they can just pop out and pop in like gophers. What are they called? Like those gophers, right? That is what they're called. Just suddenly it goes into like ground. You kidding me, right? This is some next level shit. How many years does it took to create this kind of network where everything's underground? Ayatollah goes to underground, it's a big facility. Nuclear bunkers are underground where you need bunker busters. Even the missiles have an underground section.
More feasible. These launch platforms are designed to withstand preemptive attacks and deliver quick retaliatory blows. In terms of targeting, Iran would likely aim to paralyze air operations by striking runways, fuel storage facilities, aircraft shelters, command centers, and logistics nodes. The objective would be to degrade U.S. combat capability quickly and limit its ability to respond effectively. But if you want to understand U.S. new military strategy on the Middle East, check out our future upcoming video here.
What?
Understand U.S. new
Future upcoming video, where? Alright. Again, I knew AI Tele is going to be good, and it was. This blew my mind. Okay, I knew that as soon as I click on this video, like there might be more to this than I previously thought. Because that's just common sense at that point. Iran is not Venezuela. I mean, I knew that, but after seeing all this shit, the logistical thing that they created, not logistical thing, but I don't have the words. Like over time that they've like put their fingers and like their vines into things around it, they are kind of dangerous. They're kind of like glued in. Creating system of, like underground things where launchers can just retreat underground. You can't really destroy a launcher if it goes underground instantly. Attack and go down. How are you going to destroy that? You're not going to bunker buster every single launcher. That's insane. This is some next level shit, man. I didn't know this was a thing. I mean, you could theoretically you can think about a laser weapon which has enough frequency that pierces through the ground, but that technology doesn't exist right now. One day, maybe after this, who knows? But yeah, I didn't know this shit. Like Iran can be a threat like this. Man, all right. This is why Iran in Middle East is kind of flexing, isn't it? All right, well, there you go. Iran attack tactics on US military by channel AI Tele. If you like my reaction, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.